You are now tuned in to the FinTech Friday special series for Tech Education Day. Tech Education Day will be hosted on October 31st by the Economic Development Department. This event aims to inspire and inform Bermuda's youth on technology and the career opportunities that this industry holds. Over the next few episodes, as we lead up to Education Day, you will hear from Bermudian leaders in Bermuda's tech and fintech space as they demystify concepts and discuss opportunities and various career paths in the field. So sit back and enjoy today's episode, and we hope to see you at Tech Education Day on October 31st.
Good morning and welcome to FinTech Fridays. My name is Mariam. Hi, Coral. Hi, Zar'a.
Hi.
Hi.
So welcome to the special series of FinTech Fridays, which we're dedicating this year to Tech Education Day. That will take place in person, yay, on October 31st at the Hamilton Princess and Beach Club. So Coral and Zar'a, why don't you introduce yourselves to the audience?
Sure. Okay, so I'll start. Hi, everybody. I'm Coral Wells. I'm the founder, CEO of Connectech Coding. I'm all things tech, love tech, passionate about tech, and definitely passionate about education and technology.
And my name is Zar'a. I am one of the instructors at Connectech, and I share the same interest and passion in tech and education as Coral.
Cool. So we're here today to talk about you guys' interest in everything tech, like Coral said, and more specifically robotics. Zar'a, why don't you tell me how did that start for you?
Okay, well, I went to school at Work Academy, and when I left Work Academy, I was, going towards the college route in engineering. So I did 2 years here at Bermuda College, and the idea was I was going to transfer credits over and end up at a school in Canada. But I did my 2 years here, and I just was not really enjoying it. And so I didn't want to go away to continue doing something I didn't enjoy doing. So I kind of took the summer off. I worked with my granddad cleaning pools, and I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I actually saw a YouTube video that was by like a software YouTube channel, which was basically just almost like showing coding as an option for engineering students who were doing engineering but didn't like it and like, hey, check out coding. And I was like, wow, okay, that's kind of perfect for me because I've always been techie. And I never really thought of coding as like a career. I always thought of it as like I knew coding was a thing, like people did it, but I don't know, it just never really clicked that that could be like a job. So when I saw that, I was really excited about it. I told my family, and my mom knows Coral. And we're like somehow cousins down the line. And that same summer was when Coral won Tech Woman of the Year or something like that. So she was like just in the newspaper. So it was like fresh on my family's mind, right? It was like perfect timing. Um, so they got me to get in contact with Coral, and she happened to have like a TLF event, I think, in a couple of weeks. So I went to this event and talked to all these tech professionals, basically just trying to figure out like what my path should be. And what I got from them, from the majority, was you can learn this stuff on your own online and teach yourself. So that's what I did. I went to Connectech. This is like September 2016. I went to Connectech during the day, and I just found some online courses. And the Connectech open desks was like my office. And I was learning stuff online. And because I was there at Connectech, there's all these tech professionals coming in and out kind of on a regular, especially at that point. So I got to meet and talk with people, both that I had met before in the summer and people that I hadn't met at all. But yeah, during that time I was learning. Coral had started having classes come in during the day, I think from um, MSA maybe, or I can't remember. But one of the schools like that was really close would come up and have a coding class. And so I had started coming to help out with that. And then, you know, one of the weeks down the line, Coral had to do a meeting. So I just took the class and then we started doing camps and stuff. So yeah, I kind of grew organically, I guess, into what I do now. And now we do like all the robotics and app development and all sorts of different things. So yeah.
Ah, exciting, exciting. Coral, I'd love to hear from you as well. How did you get your start in tech?
Sure. So I I've been in tech for, I don't know, 25 years. Maybe I'm really old. So but I didn't, so when I was in college, like computers were like just coming, internet was just coming out, right? And so my actual start was in graphics. And what happened was I came back to Bermuda and realized that, you know, there wasn't a whole lot to do in graphics. And I started to look at trends, right? And I found that the next step was more about programming and, getting into the technology side of like UI stuff. So connecting like graphic design and computers and programming and things like that. So I'm actually self-taught from a programming perspective. Unfortunately, I don't get to do that much. But I have to tell you, when I do get to do it, I absolutely love programming. I love the troubleshooting. I love figuring out like what I did wrong with this code and why it's not working. But I leave all of that to Zar'a now, and just dabble a little bit. But yeah, I definitely saw a change in the market that was needed. So a vision of like what what the world was going to look like in like, so this was like back in 2000, right? Even before 2000, like what the world was going to look like. And I knew that it wasn't going to be a graphics based world. Like I knew that we were going to move away from that. I could, I'm not saying that I could predict the future, but it was quite obvious, like in what was happening, even way back then. So that's why I started to be self-taught. That's why I started to go down the path of computers. And then I was involved with starting the TLF with the government and some private sector companies. And we noticed the same thing in our youth, that they were going away to university and not studying what the companies needed, right? And then so that transpired. And TLF is an amazing organization and still is an amazing organization. And then so the other thing that we found was TLF focuses on college level students, but we weren't getting enough students ready for college and in college. And so we needed to start at a younger level. And hence why Connectech was formed, was to prepare students and get students interested and inspire them in technology at an earlier age. When I started Connectech, it was because we saw around the world that kids at the age of 10 were developing mobile apps. And Bermuda is supposed to be a technology hub itself. And why aren't our kids at that level? So that's kind of why, I wanted to help inspire our kids to be more into technology, right? And I think we all know that technology is in every and any career that you do. Like that's the first lesson that we teach any of our kids, right? That's that when Zar'a goes in and talks to the kids, the first after school class, the first primary school class, that's the first thing we say is, what do you want to be when you grow up? And as they list all the different things, we tell them how technology is involved in that career and hence why they need to know it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's definitely everywhere. It's pervasive and we can't deny that it's there. I'd like to thank you guys for these introductions. Zar'a, Coral was named the most inspiring woman of the year. Coral, what year was that?
I don't know, 2016.
It was, yeah. I was on that team, so I should know. But I'd like to say that both of you are inspiring in your own ways, because you are looking at nurturing the next generation, right? And actually making sure that those who are inclined, very much like both of you, it's not like you went to school for that, but anybody who's inclined and who's interested in tech and in coding and software development and robotics is able to find somewhere to go and people to talk to. And I think that's absolutely great, which is why I was pleased to see your name in the list of speakers at this year's Tech Education Day. So you'll be talking to Bermuda's high schoolers. Specifically, you'll be doing some demonstrations. You'll be showing off some things. Every time we talk to anybody about what the day is going to look like, they're quite excited and can't wait to get there. So why don't you tell me, Zar'a, what would you like the high school students that are going to be there on the day, what would you like for them to take away from what you have to say?
I think a few things. I think like a general, like in my case, when I was in high school, I didn't really think about technology careers, you know what I mean? Like I would consider myself a techie person, but I didn't think of a career in tech. So I think that would be great. I mean, just the awareness that, you know, if you enjoy technology, you think it's cool or interesting, you can turn that into a career, definitely, you know. Um, but also, even if you're not super interested in technology, like Coral was saying earlier, that's one of the first things that we talk about with especially like the middle schoolers and older. It's like even if you like football and you want to be in football, like you know, you might love football, but you can still have a technology career that is like right there in football. You know what I mean? Like every high-end team has analysts and stuff that are checking all of the data and telling them where they can improve. So you could do nothing but football all day in technology. You know what I mean? So that kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that's definitely a good message. And it opens up doors and it opens up your way of thinking, right? Because you're going to be
Yeah.
talking to students that are at the towards the end of, you know, the thinking process of what am I going to be when I grow up? What career path am I looking forward to? What do I need to look into? So it's a good thing that they'll be able to hear this message. Coral, anything to add?
Zär'a always does it so well. So I just, from that day, we're going to be talking a lot about robotics, right? Our robotics programs and the different things that we do and that we offer to the schools, right? Um, we do a little bit of everything, right? We do coding, we do robotics, and we do have some folks that are very driven towards doing hands-on. And the robotics that we're going to show is quite amazing because it's all hands-on. It's like building. It's building these robots from scratch, like extrusions, like pieces, like I don't know. I feel like it's 1,000 pieces, like a puzzle, and you have to come up with a way of how to put it together. So we're going to be talking about the problem solving
Yeah.
for that, right? We're also going to be talking about how you code that robot to do what you want it to do. And then the greatest thing is we're going to be talking about some of our experiences and opportunities that we have globally as part of the robotics program that we offer.
Mhm.
So, and that'll be our first global partnership.
Right. Did you want to say some more about that, or would you like to leave it as a surprise for the day?
No, I would love to, if I have some time, I'd love to chat about it. So, just recently, we would have traveled to this year. We're traveling to Switzerland to compete in uh, an Olympic style or the Olympics, the robotic Olympics. So we consider it just like, you know, our runners and stuff like that go to different Olympic events. This is an Olympic event. We're competing against 180 other countries. And we built this robot over the past probably 8-10 weeks. And there's a special theme around it, things like that. And yeah, so we have to compete against these 180 countries, and you have alliances where you work with the other countries, things like that, to meet a challenge that they have provided to us. And so one thing I always say, it's not always about building the robot. So First Global is an amazing organization, and they're worldwide. They're a non-for-profit in the US, and they do some amazing things. And they talk about climate in different aspects every year, but then it's also about bringing technology and environment together. And it's not about the robot, because you're talking about these kids have the opportunity to meet kids from around the world, right? And in the past, I think in 2019, we took them to Dubai. And the students that we took to Dubai have actually stayed in touch with some of those kids that they met in Dubai. And it's, so you're forging these friendships. And then you're learning about what other countries are doing. You're having to figure out, how do I talk to these other students about their robot, about what they're doing, and they speak different languages, and you have to figure that out. And so it really opens up their sort of social aspect of their life. So some of them, many of our technologists, our kids are introverts, and they don't like to do that, right? So this has helped, and we've seen it it's helped in the past to open up and expose and have them be part of team environment as well, right? Somebody who is so used to being by themselves and just working by themselves in technology. This says, no, we're going to, introduce you to all of this. And it's quite awesome. So I can't wait. You'll be able to watch us on YouTube when we're on the global stage. We're Team Bermuda, First Global Challenge, and so it's going to be pretty awesome if you just follow all of our social handles, and I'll probably let you guys know those a little bit later, but all of our social handles, and you can watch us live in Switzerland.
That sounds great. That sounds great. Yeah, and usually with these things, you're right. It's not just what we're there to do in terms of the robot itself, but it's also all the other things that come with it. Like, these are experiences that stay with you. And you learn so much as a participant, not just in the skill that you're honing, but also, the soft skills, problem solving, decision making, being part of a team, being able to nurture your own network as you get older. All these things are really, you learn as you go. And so these kids are definitely lucky, and I'm so glad that you're able to create this opportunity for them. So before we close, Zar'a, I just had a question for you. What is next for you?
Well, right now I think machine learning is kind of the next thing that I'd like to learn, and like the kind of data science, but specifically the AI and machine learning part of it. I just think it's really interesting. I've started to kind of poke around in it and learn it a little bit, but I'd like to go deeper in that. And I had this idea a while ago that I'd like to learn machine learning and data science in order to kind of help the community in different ways. I'm not really sure how that would play out, but I know that there's a company in, I think, California that's basically has the same goal in that state, where it's like this person, I guess, kind of near to my age, has who understands machine learning processes and like, gathering data and pulling information from it, and they're using it to help their community in so many different ways, like just with, I mean, kind of anything, any kind of problem you could think of, right? Um, just leveraging the machine learning and a computer's ability to process things different from us can be a really good tool, for those types of situations. So yeah.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, isn't it great how you can harness the power of technology to be a force for good, whether what Coral was talking about with First Global, and making sure that we keep the environment top of mind, especially that we live in such a small island and the environment has a huge influence on everything we do. But also what you're trying to do as a person, I think that's so great, and I would like to congratulate you for that, for thinking beyond just what you're going to do for you, right? We need more like you, I'd like to say, Zar'a. Coral, your turn. What's next for you?
So for me, it's more about Connectech and the Connectech vision, right? And we want to be able to expand and grow Connectech to be an actual, and I don't want to say a school, but sort of that alternative learning environment, not just for our kids in school, but even for young adults. And so we have some plans in place to be able to offer more educational opportunities from all different aspects, not just that are from all that are not just coding, not just robotics, right? But a little bit of everything. You know, some of the AI stuff Zar'a is talking about, but more of a formal setting. And so hopefully in the next few months we'll be able to announce some of our plans of being able to offer actual certifications and classes that those students who don't want to or can't go off to university, they have that opportunity to come here and learn about the different aspects of technology, get a certificate, things like that, have the interaction with like-minded individuals. And then also from our youth perspective is we do it now, right? We do the students coming to us during the day. We go out to the primary schools. We're in some of the middle schools, or they come to us, and the high schools. But we want to formalize that a little bit more. We want to make those opportunities available to all of the schools where they can come to us on a regular basis. Obviously, in order for us to be able to expand like that, we need, exactly like what you just said, more Zara'as. And I think that is our challenge, is finding the passionate instructors like Zar'a, who they don't have to be, we're not of the teacher nature, right? We're of the tech professionals are teaching the students, right? In what is actually real world experiences. Right. So I don't expect that when we are looking for new instructors that you have to come to me with a teacher degree. That's not what we do. We are tech professionals that are teaching a particular subject. But if I could clone Zar'a like 4 times, we'd be awesome. We'd be great. We'd be doing what we need to do. Poor Zar'a, he like works. I feel like I made him work like me 18 hours a day. So I really need to be careful. I can't burn him out. But we are definitely looking, and our vision for Connectech is to expand and make what we have available here, make it available to so many others. So, with the government doing the signature schools, I don't want to say that we're a school in that nature, but we're going to be the tech education center, hopefully, of Bermuda, right? Like that's what our vision is.
Yeah, and that only makes sense. I mean, when I first joined this kind of tech adjacent world years ago, I realized what you were trying to do. And you always had that long-term vision, you and others that we worked with, right? If you go back in time, and it was about nurturing that talent pool for the country long term. And so now we're all very lucky to have Zar'a. And hopefully as you go and as you continue with your work, there'll be more and more in order to achieve that mission, right? And so I can only wish you the best with that. Okay, well, thank you guys for your time. I really appreciate you meeting with me and having this conversation. And I can't wait to see you guys. Let me repeat that, on October 31st at Hamilton Princess and Beach Club for Tech Education Day, as presented by the Economic Development Department. Thank you guys, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks.